Hello everyone. Well, with the drama of Celebrity Big Brother behind us, I thought I'd do a bit of a Love Island catch-up as the new season will start relatively soon, apparently at the beginning of June. Let's start with some fluffy news, which is also weird news if you want my opinion, and that is that both Sam Thompson and Pete Wicks are now dating girls from Love Island. Now, those of you who don't know, Sam Thompson and Pete Wicks have their own podcast, and Sam Thompson is a frequent contributor to Love Island After Sun. He's very much part of the Love Island universe, as it were. So apparently Sam Thompson, who recently broke up with another ex-Love Islander, Zara McDermott, is now dating Samie. Samie, who was on Love Island All-Stars. Right? Okay, fine. Who was supposedly there for Luca, didn't work out. I'm sure you remember it all. Then Pete Wicks is apparently now dating Samantha from Love Island last summer. And he was previously dating Maura Higgins, also from, you guessed it, Love Island. So now you have Sam Thompson dating Samie, whose name could be shortened to Sam, so Sam and Sam. You have Pete Wicks, his best friend, dating Samantha, whose name could also be shortened to Sam. So it's a bit of a Sam fest, but it's also very strange, I think. Love Island could be considered perhaps a pool of opportunity for these guys, and I find it incredibly, I don't know, I just find it odd. What do you make of it? Are you happy about this news? Or do you have a bit of skepticism, as I do? Love Island UK is getting a spin-off, guys. Well, that's not entirely true. It's getting a special. There we go. We've already got a spin-off, I suppose, with All Stars and Love Island Games and all that kind of thing. Although Love Island Games doesn't seem to be recommissioned yet. Maybe it won't be, I've no idea. It seems people much prefer it to Love Island All-Stars. So we're getting this spin-off special in which to celebrate 10 years of Love Island. Wow, 10 years, guys. 10 years. And I'm amazed it's even lasted that long. It's quite remarkable when you think about it. 10 years of Love Island, they're doing this special one-off, which looks like a massive time filler to me. I was hoping for something a bit more interesting than what we're actually going to get, which is apparently a sort of Gogglebox version in which old Islanders look back at the most crazy clips and make comments. The Sun covered it briefly, and this is what they had to say.
Doc will most likely take on a celebrity Gogglebox style format, with former contestants looking back at the decade of the matchmaking reality series. TV insiders say the ex-Islanders taking part, including some famous couples who got together on the show, are likely to spill the behind-the-scenes stories from their time in the villa and give the inside scoop on some of the show's standout moments. The special is expected to air before the brand new summer series kicks off in June.
Is that something you're going to watch? To me, it just looks like a kind of... It's almost like a version of Love Island Unseen Clips, except obviously the clips have been seen. You know, like, when I watch Unseen Clips, I just think this is purely made to fill the gap on a Saturday before the episode on a Sunday. And this feels like just another gap filler. They feel like they have to make something because it's 10 years. So rather than do something interesting, let's just go the boring route. And also, they didn't list Molly May in that, you know, cast that they've got planned, which is disappointing. I feel like she should contribute, unless she absolutely doesn't want to. But, yeah. Will you watch it? I will, of course, watch it, but I want you to know, when I watch it, I'm doing so by force. I'm not going to do it willingly. And perhaps the most interesting news we've had about the upcoming season of Love Island is this rather strong rumour that the producers want to include their first transgender contestant. Now, the person in question is, according to newspaper reports, a transgender woman called Michelle Roscoe. I'm going to put this TikTok up from their channel in which they explain why people should date trans women.
Here are some reasons why you should be dating trans women. We don't have any periods, which means no hormonal moments when we're super moody, and no need to have gaps in the month when we don't get naughty. Also, that means no pregnancy scares, which is great, which also means no need to use protection, if you know what I mean. We more than likely have a few similar interests, as we are still in touch with our masculine side, which will never go away. For example, I love video games and I love sports. I love playing basketball. I love watching football, and that will never ever leave me. So if you want a sporty girl who's into the same things as you, who you can play video games with, look no further. This one's quite controversial, but we are great drivers. We know how to drive a car. You know what they say, women drivers. And last but not least, we will never ever be close-minded because we've been through such a lot ourselves that being close-minded is not an option. So most trans women are open-minded, kind queens who you can tell just about anything to and it won't faze them. Mwah.
Now, I will admit I'm skeptical about this because this could be a PR operation in which basically the producers have absolutely no intention of doing this, but they want to get Love Island back into the conscience of the public, so they put a story out there and the newspapers pick it up and we all start thinking about Love Island again. And, you know, if that's their strategy, it's definitely worked, it's definitely got people talking. But my other concern really is if it's actually true, then I'm really concerned about the safety of this contestant because I think it could really backfire horrendously. I'm sure you're all aware, but a few years ago, Sky TV did a reality show called There's Something About Miriam, in which a group of guys all fought for the affections of a girl called Miriam. And then, once the show was finished and we had the finale, it was revealed that Miriam was actually transgender. And everything kicked off and it was a disaster. And to cut a very long story short, her life after that programme was troubled, and eventually it ended tragically young. And I am concerned that exposure on Love Island in this context could really, really harm someone. I mean, can you imagine the scenarios? Now, I haven't worked out whether Michelle has fully transitioned in terms of had an operation to remove what made her essentially male or not. I don't know how one would find that out without being really gross and horrid. So I just think, how are the guys going to react when they find this out? How often will she actually be picked, you know, to be in a couple? I mean, are they going to be told at the beginning? I just think the whole thing raises so many questions, and it's such a dangerous thing to do. I don't think it's worth gambling someone's mental state on. Now, I could be wrong about this, maybe you have a completely different view to me. Do you think this should even be in this kind of show? I mean, let's be honest, we do have a completely separate show for men called I Think I Kissed a Guy or something on BBC Three. I mean, should there be a separate one for trans people? I don't know, put your opinions below. But my concern is, in Love Island, which thus far in the UK version has been fairly heterosexual. Yes, there's probably been one or two moments where girls have kissed girls. I can't remember where a guy has kissed a guy. But you get my point. I just don't see how this would... I don't see how this would work. But again, maybe I'm completely wrong. What do you think? Would you have the same concerns as me, or would you be like, you know what, Yaz, you're just out of time. You're old school. You're out of step with what's going on in the world today, and this should very much be allowed. Let me know your thoughts below. Are you looking forward to Love Island when it returns in a month or so? And any other comments you want to make about any other stuff in this video, go right ahead, or make any other comments you want to make about anything. I really don't mind. Thanks for watching. Bye.